Specialist. Honey, as always, it's story time. So a couple weeks ago, I did a video on postpartum care, and a guy friend of mine reached out and said, hey, do you know anything about women who are experiencing grief after abortion because his girlfriend, hopefully future wife, is still grieving over abortion from a past relationship and doesn't feel worthy of having a child? I know all about this way too well. So I'm going to go into my own journey. I hope you guys can hold space, pull up a chair, pour the wine, whatever you need to do. Get comfortable for this one. So quite a few years ago, I got divorced and I went from living soft life in the burbs, honey, going to yoga midday, all the things, to back to the wild of needing to pick up classes and teach more, get into an apartment, all at once. It was time for me to get back to I see this world. So in the midst of that, I'm at church one day, and church is going great. We have a meeting after church. I decide, let me go grab a meal in the midst of this meeting. And I grab one of these yummy Spanish meals. And if you know anything about the Spanish platters, no one can finish them but a truck driver. Well, that day, your girl ate the whole entire bowl. So I thought to myself, that's really odd. I said, you ate a whole bowl of like Spanish food, rice, beans, chicken. Like, girl, what's going on? But of course I thought, that's nothing. You were trying to get pregnant for 2 years. It couldn't have happened that one last time before you left your husband. That's impossible. You're fine. So I'm moseying on along. Monday morning comes. I'm teaching class. I'm on the bike. I'm moving and grooving. My breasts are in excruciating pain. I have to get off the bike, teach class from the side of the bike, and I'm thinking, this is very odd. This has never happened before to me. So I go home that night. I decide, let me grab a pregnancy test just for GP, you know. I'm sure I'm fine though. So I do all that. I get home. I take the test. I see the 2 lines. I look at the lines. I see the 2 lines again. I knock on the girl's door, the roommate, because remember, I have 4 roommates now. I've never had a roommate in my life, but now I have 4 of them. So I knock on this woman's door. I'm like, hey, I know I don't know you. You don't know me. I took a pregnancy test. Can you tell me, like, what you see? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? She looks at the test. She looks at me. She's like, here, girl, you're pregnant. I freak out right in front of her. Oh, my God. I just left my husband. I'm looking for a new apartment. I just got to a new job. She's looking at me thinking, girl, I do not know you. I'm trying to watch my show. Please go back to that little room over there. So I go, okay, thank you so much. And I go back to my room. I start calling family and friends. We're all crying on the phone. It's a wild night on a Monday at that. So after that young lady comes back, she says, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't listen to you the way you would have liked. Wanted to let you know you have choices, right? I didn't even think about choices. I was so much in like fight or flight and in panic mode. So after we talk about that, I make my decision. Things are fine. I decided this is happening on a Monday. Let's take care of this on Wednesday, and we're back to work. I tried that. I started arguing with everybody, people that I absolutely love. It was as if everybody started getting on my nerves at one time. I think I was experiencing a little bit of postpartum because I had been pregnant, right? And also, too, I hadn't given myself time to really pause, heal, and reflect. I was feeling like I'm moving and grooving. I can get back to business like it never happened, and it wasn't the case. Also, I noticed years later, I started having, I wouldn't say grief, but discomfort and really questioning my decision. After becoming a doula, one of the things I realized is my friends and clients to say, I want 4 or 5 kids, have 1 child and go, I'm done. That's it. And not so much after the birthing process, but just after realizing how much their life has changed, how much they had to sacrifice. Now they have a baby, they need to do more about the baby than them. They went from wanting 5 to just 1. The women who got pregnant with 1 baby and said, I can't believe this, they cried the whole 9 months, I'm gonna have to stop doing this, I'm gonna stop doing that. They're the ones that say, I think I want to have 4 more. So I say all that to say, I think what I realized was that even if I would have had a baby, I would have been either the same Wasita or even a better version of myself. So it was just that moment of reflection. I wouldn't call it grief, even though still women do have grief. And as a womb healer and as a doula, when someone does say, hey, I'm grieving through a miscarriage or an abortion, we do something called a baby releasing process. We work with the woman and really bring her back to herself, but also return that baby back to the ancestors. We invite her ancestors in the room and through all the Holy Spirit to really help that happen, and she knows that the baby is back with the ancestors and she can return back to herself. So also I wanted to say before I end this video, for any young ladies out there that are like, oh my God, in my city or state, it's difficult for me to get birth control or the abortion pill or the morning pill, I'm going to suggest that you look into what your ancestors did when it comes to herbs, because herbs are medicine. And then also find yourself a local midwife.